Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Pisces new moon meditation for the common good. Today, we continue our work with the topic that's we've been holding in since the full moon, the Aquarius festival, the world group in right relations, vertically and horizontally, is doing its destined work. This topic was selected based on the sharings we had in preparation for the full moon, and it is related to the theme that we hold in the signs of the mutable cross, of which Pisces is the part. Right relations, implementing right relations in all fields of human endeavors is one of the prerequisites for the reappearance of the Christ. Today, we will continue our sharing our impressions, our thoughts, our ideas in relations to the questions that Lynn offered us at the time of the full moon and that we held in our meditation. And then we will offer seeds that could grow into thought forms that would inspire humanity. And we will magnetize those seeds and radiate them into the field of human mental activities. This is our work for today. And so, saying this, I invite us to start our work. And as always, we begin with sounding the statement of purpose. Over to you, Birgit.
Thank you, Alexander. Our purpose is to magnetize the ideas of common good, freedom, and brotherhood as the highest values of humanity at this time. We recognize and cherish diversity of perspectives in our group, creating a space capable of invoking, receiving, interpreting, and radiating a higher synthetic vision. We serve as an asramic outpost, building a group bridge of Buddhic energy. We evoke the soul of humanity. We envision humanity as being the seed that is flowering. We prepare the way for the reappearance of the coming one. And over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Birgit. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. As we begin our focus today in this new moon meditation for Pisces cycle, the naming circle unites our hearts across distance. As we begin our alignment, and let's bring ourselves fully into our group work. By uniting our hearts in this way, we begin naturally to work telepathically through our group mind. The key to this telepathic work is in the etheric alignment, which creates the group field and allows it to become both a receiving and transmitting agent for higher ideas and energies. We'll begin by calling our names into the circle, starting with our organizers. And as your name is called, please unmute yourself, say your name, and where you are calling in from. For example, Tracy Arbor, and I'm calling in from Novi, Michigan, USA. And as we go through this, let us turn our attention to our hearts and the heart center of the group gathered today, as each one of us calls ourselves into the circle. Alexander.
Hello again. My name is Alexander Ilchuk, and I'm calling in from Brooklyn, New York, in the United States.
Welcome. Birgitta.
Hello, my name is Birgitte, and I'm calling in from Denmark.
Welcome. Andrea.
Hello, everyone. This is Andrea Ross, and I'm calling in from Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States.
Welcome. Annetta.
Hello, this is Annette calling in from Denmark.
Welcome. Sherry. I saw you kind of came in late, so if you'd like to unmute yourself and say your name and where you're calling in from, please.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for that delay. This is my first time and I'm not really sure how to do this.
You're
My
doing
name-
great. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi. My name is Sherry Jardine and I'm calling from Norton, Massachusetts, USA.
Welcome. Darcy.
Hello, everybody. This is Darcy calling in from Washington, D.C. area, USA.
Welcome. Jillian.
Hello, everyone. It's Gillian Douglas from Norfolk, UK.
Welcome. Judy.
Hello, everyone. This is Judy calling in from Brewster, Massachusetts, USA.
Welcome. Kathy.
Aloha, everyone. This is Kathy Heller calling in from Pahoa, Hawaii, on Hawaii Island, Kingdom of Hawaii.
Welcome. Katya.
Hi, Katja Kaufman, calling from New York.
Welcome. Lynn.
Hello, this is Lynn in Columbus, Ohio, USA.
Welcome. Maria Christina.
I think Maria Cristina just lost connection, so she will.
Okay. Well, welcome, Maria. Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. This is Rebecca from Queensland, Australia.
Welcome. Thank you, everyone. Now that we are linked together as a group, let us share a few moments in silence to align, forming a triangle between Shambhala, the hierarchy, and humanity. May our efforts be of the highest vibration in selfless service for our purpose.
Thank you, friends. We are opening now the circle for sharing our impressions and thoughts on the topic we've been holding. And as we prepare to do that, I invite us to visit the community board where some quotes and impressions were shared. So let's take another couple minutes to look through the community board. You can find the link to the board in the chat. Quite a lot been shared on the community board this time, so it's takes a while to read everything. On the screen, you now can see the questions that Lynn offered for us to hold in our group chalice, reflecting and meditating on those. And the floor is open, so when you're ready to share, please unmute yourself, and maybe someone who share it on the community board, you can somehow comment and to start our conversation today.
I could start us off. To me, question 2 speaks of compassion. I think we're taught in one of the books, at least, that The dweller in the threshold and the angel of the presence stand in either side, but yet I don't believe we walk through the door. The way we're taught, we don't walk through the door to the higher planes until that issue is resolved. And it isn't by, they tell us it isn't by getting rid of or negating the dweller, but it's by, I believe, more by encompassing the dweller and raising all up into the higher realms. That's what I've got.
I'd like to share a little bit, and specifically around question 3 and the idea of Pisces and being the end of the zodiacal sign. Today with the new moon, we're looking at a stellium in Pisces, and we're also looking at Neptune at the end of the Pisces cycle at 28 degrees. When we think of Neptune standing for the Christ and the Piscean age ending, and that Neptunian cycle being at the end of Pisces, I think we're being asked to consider whether at the end of the Piscean age, has the impulse of the Christ been seated? Are we at this point looking at individual consciousness and the idea that that unity and inclusivity that Christ brought through in the center of love, has that been received as we are leaving the Piscean age? Can we, as this Neptunian sign moves into Aries, and as we move into the new zodiacal year of 2025 in Aries, are we ready to build on that love, that idea of unity, and that idea of inclusivity? Can we stand as a world-serving group? So that is what comes to mind today, and the idea of Pluto being in Aquarius in the 1st degree there, or I think it might be the 2nd degree now, that push and that impulse to bring everything to the surface that needs to be looked at, so that the impulse that was presented during the Piscean age is one where we can look at what needs to be let go of. How do we build unity? How do we build inclusivity? So I think when you look at this set of questions at this point in time, where we stand as a world-serving group, it's really important to take stock, to understand what was trying to be impulsed, and then as a group to be able to hold that energy and that light as the world basically reforms itself, and as some of that old slips away, so that we in fact can be the conduit for what was presented as we move forward into the new age. Thank you.
I could elaborate a little bit. I have spent a lot of time in the last few weeks really focusing on a component of compassion that continuously was brought into our awareness by another disciple, and it was the definition of compassion that came from Esoteric Psychology, Volume 2, in which the Tibetan says that compassion is not an emotional response, nor is it identified with pleasure or pain. It is the right use of the pair of opposites, the recognition that both joy and suffering, attraction and repulsion, are part of a greater synthesis which the soul perceives. So as souls, I see compassion as the foundation of identification, and identification being that place where we recognize the all, the whole, that we are one within that whole. And so it just speaks to the light through the middle way that we speak of in the second question, and that it is really standing in the center of that even-armed cross in all circumstances and recognizing the wholeness that is part of and the basis of compassion.
It's interesting to consider this stellium of planets in Pisces and the overall this alignment of all planets in the visible sky in relations to the end of the era of the Forerunner. For me, this topic of the right alignment of the right relations, horizontal and vertical, of the world group, it relates to the end of the era of the Forerunner. And the period of 1945 till now, that's been marked by Tibetan as the period of time of experiments and training, speaks to me as a preparation for what comes next. We know that the new group of world service was an experiment that came into being as a result of the conclave meditation, of hierarchical conclave meditation in 1925. It was one of the main outcomes of that conclave, where this idea of the new group of world service was perceived and expressed into existence. And so now we come to the end of this 100-year cycle, and at the same time, this end of the preparatory phase of the era of the Forerunner. And we find ourselves recognizing us being part of the new group of world servers at this threshold of the new era, whatever we call it, whatever we perceive it, but we find ourselves at this very turbulent times, standing between the hierarchy and humanity, being soul conscious and yet involved in all the challenges of the physical, living in the physical body. And so for me, my recognition is that this is the time when the world group and more specifically the esoteric community, is challenged to take its stand in the greater alignment and become actually a working tool, if I may use such a word, working tool of the hierarchy, really becoming this living, transmitting, vibrant center within the human family, recognizing all our responsibility and being open to all the potential that it is within us as a great group, the Nuke Servers group. So this time is about finding that right proportion, what is that right relations, and what is actually expected from us.
I'd like to just comment on that. I read a quote, a sloka actually, from Master Moria, and I don't have it with me now, but I can find the reference if people are interested. And he breaks time up into three-year cycles, which is the 9-year period, and it is a period that the new group of world servers works in. And he looks at how the energy shifts from each 3-year period. And in this, the first and the second set of 3 years are behind us. And what we face now is a period that is called homeless wandering, in his quote. And homeless wandering is basically where we are now, where we are ending the period that was known as the Forerunners. And yet we're moving into a period of that unknown where we are doing exactly what you said, of now that we have grouped together, configuring what it is that we are meant to do, and not be aligned to any specific country or area, but understand that we are that aspect which will be used by hierarchy to bring through the plan. And he says that we will get used to being homeless wanderers. And at the end of the 3-year period, we will move into being in an era called the light bearers. And yeah, I read this quote, and even though it was written quite a long time ago, the impulse was that this was speaking to us now. And I do believe that as chaos is happening and as things are reconfiguring, moving from a unipolar world to a multipolar groupings of nations, that we stand in this area of homeless wandering, really working to know what is our part in this plan so that we can then, in the next 3 years, move into being the light bearers. So thank you.
Judy, when do the light bearing years start? What year is that?
Well, he doesn't give a specific year. He's looking at a 9-year grouping. So if we look at ourselves as moving into this last 3-year of grouping, which would be 2025, 26, and 27, at the end of that 3 years, then we move from a stage of, as I read into it, forerunners to a stage of light bearers. That then we hold the light. We are no longer forerunners. And if you want, I will find the quote for everyone.
Thanks very much.
This is Maria Cristina. Struggling with computer land. Chaos that we are all encountering. It's very aware of the this year in 2025, the establishing the presence of the fourth ray in the year 2025, the fourth ray of humanity, of harmony and beauty through conflict, harmony and beauty through conflict, but that's a lower emphasis, not to be indulged. The cutting edge of transformation. The fourth ray formula, which the Tibetan gives us for the fourth ray, is may we be led from chaos, which we see on every side. May we be led from chaos to beauty. The Tibetan mentions that this formula, quote, deals with the life aspect concerning the circulation of energy, and therefore the mode of the creative process. May we be led from chaos to beauty. And these formulas, he also adds, are building pattern. They're not even words, they're geometric forms. And he does give us the geometric pattern for this particular formula. It's called the sun upon the square. I've mentioned it before, and to visualize superimposed on today's chaos. The chaos is held within a square or oblong composed of a kaleidoscope mass of inchoate colors, moving, pulsating, in constant, indescribable condition. Superimposed upon this square is a radiant sun with a penumbra composed of 7 prismatic colors, radiating out from the sun in rhythmic bands, a marvelous blaze of colors. It can be very helpful as we look into our world today, be it personally, dealing with computers, or nationally, or internationally, as we hear the news, to see it through this emerging scheme of beauty, translucent and delicate. It's almost like putting on rose-colored glasses. The heavier background can distinctly be seen, he mentions, through the translucence. And perhaps I can share an image that I find very helpful. As esotericists, this is really working, and he says to hold it for years. This is really, for me, a step forward in the definition of service as we stand between the inner worlds of sound and color, of geometric forms of beauty, linking the heavens and our earth. So, thank you.
Hmm. 9-year cycle, and thank you for bringing up the fourth formula, Maria Christina, and thank you for bringing up this quote, Judy, because 9-year cycle is development of consciousness, and I think it's really homeless wonder is it's pretty much a very good description, I think, for whatever group consciousness that is there yet doesn't have a home. It's supposed to be there, but in reality it doesn't. and how it's slowly building up to the point that, and it's again Pisces, coming back to father's home. It's this unique, I would say, moment, and I'm glad we're together going through it. So finally, we are getting home, and then we need to may need to make this home lighted. It's once again, we need to get into this Cancer stream and build that lighted house. And it's interesting to me that Neptune is Pisces and Cancer overruled. It's extremely powerful connection, and we're gonna all feel it. I think this March when Pisces will let go of Neptune, and it was a step forward. But many years ago, my cousin, who was a great astrologer, he said, "Oh, Neptune moved into Pisces, so thanks God." With a great sigh of relief, he said. And I could not understand that back then. But now, I mean, I realized how deeply we were supported, how many paths were led to salvation of certain level. It's never the final, right? Up until a certain point, it's level after level after level. So this consciousness that we are developing, the group consciousness, that does unite us with the ashram in a very different way. And with shambolic, energies and hierarchical energies, it is a step forward. A new group in that regard is becoming that dweller of the lighted house. There's a lot to build, and there's a lot to light up, but we are getting there. And yeah, so thank you. It really makes sense.
I did find the quote, and I'll read it if you don't mind. So it is in Leaves of Moyer's Garden 2, and it's Sloka 318. It says, a rational path is divided into periods of roughly 1,000 days each. Such 3-year periods may be similarly externally, but they are completely different in terms of the quality of spiritual awareness. The sharper the dividing lines, the steeper the path. Usually the first year of a triennial period, which is the first 3 years, is preparatory. The second is active. The third is an anxious, onerous threshold to the next period. Let us begin a new period. It can be called earthly homelessness. You must cast aside everything you have weighed and pondered in the past and charge into a desert of boundless quietude where thunderous storms and whirlwinds will wind about you to form a radiant dome. Amidst the storm, a new raiment will be woven. Let the following period be called light-bearing, and let us shape it accordingly. With courage, let us turn our horses toward the desert haze. The principle of homeless wandering has to be lived through. In 1,000 days, one has to be able to get used to homelessness. Great is the sense of freedom's wings when the sand covers one's tracks. This is the path that all seekers have walked. We can welcome this stage when the boundaries of countries are being erased.
It reminds me, and it echoes in my head, that this is what the, quote, frontiersmen experienced when they were leaving the old and the darkness and what no longer served them, and wandered far across the unknown in search of something new and hoped for. And when I think of wanderer, I often think that there is an aimlessness to it, And I think that is not the case here, that we know and we trust and we have a direction, and that, like those frontiersmen that went out into the wild without really any knowing of where they were going, but they held the light and they trusted that they were going to find something new and recreate something that they were longing for. And so that, for me, is how I see us, as those homeless wanderers, that are carrying that light, that are bearing the torch, that will lead many towards what we think of as a new civilization.
Yeah, it's oh, it's, I don't know if I was clear when I was talking about leaving father's house and coming back, in a way, because like in this world, but not of this world, because the true home is elsewhere. It's upward. And this being homeless is realizing that the reality is not here. It's projected here, but it is not here. And for the consciousness, especially group consciousness, it's I think it's really important to remember. So thank you very much again.
As y'all were talking, an image actually came to me, which was a really kind of a strange image, but I'm going to share it with you because it came to me. So, talking about the homelessness and the wandering and the how many years or the length of time before we get to the end of that next 3-year period that Judy was talking to us about. The image that popped into my head, I don't know if anybody has ever done or seen bumper bowling. I don't know if you're familiar with it, where you're at a bowling alley and you're at your alley, but they put bumpers in the gutters where when you roll the ball down the aisle or the alley, at the end is the triangle, the upper, which I took as the higher triad type of thing, is where the pins are that you have to knock down. And you're trying to go straight down the middle to hit the goal at the end, which is the main center pin. But the bumpers are there when you usually the little kids, we play with bumper bowling so it doesn't, when you roll the ball, it doesn't go into the gutter. And the bumpers help keep that ball in the center or towards the center. Like, if it goes too much to the right, it bumps into it and, re-guides it so that no matter what, it's going to reach its goal. It's just, and that's kind of how I felt when you guys were talking, was that I think the hierarchy in that gives us, and that's almost like an antakarana also that it represents. The ajna would be the ball, and where we're directing it. And the bumpers to me represented the hierarchy who help hold us, the world of group servers, or those that are doing the will of the greater one for the purpose that we're being held or bumpered, right? Soft bumpers to hold us so that we are being guided up that path. So that's kind of what came to me, and I thought that was really interesting. And I actually was just listening to a lecture on Kriya Shakti by my teacher, Douglas Baker. And it was interesting. He said something, And he talked about, which I'm going to share with you guys. I don't know why I need to share this, but I'm going to. He was talking about the origin of man lies behind the disk of the sun. And he said, behind the disk of the sun, there is a structure which houses the main principles of every master that the solar system has ever produced from its many planetary systems. So when you concentrate 10 million adepts in one place, it suggests a tremendous collective or capacity. And if these have the ability to focus their attention, then all sorts of creative possibilities emerge. So we say that the force of evolution stems from the heart of the sun. It is the force which enters the sinoatrial node of the heart in a human body and passes through the body and the bloodstream with every heartbeat. That same force is the vehicle which the seven rays express themselves, with which guides evolution of form towards perfection. So I think I'm saying that because I think we're strongly guided. I think there's more to it than we think, and I think we're just becoming more adept as new group of world servers, formulating that concentration, that dhyana, that focus to help channel and bring us forward into the light kind of thing, or upward into the spiritual realms, on our evolution, coming out of that what is it, the fourth round and into the fifth round, and or at the end of the fifth round. I mean, we still have a ways to go into the sixth round, but anyways, I don't know. I just thought I'd share that with y'all. Thanks.
I think that's was very interesting about the bumpers, and I think it's almost the same as when we are trying to stay in the middle of the zodiac. Then we have the bumpers of the different opposites, and we are trying to be in the synthesis in the middle as the soul, and this is our bumpers to try to find the balance and the equilibrium in the middle from all the opposites. And we are not staying steadily, but reacting on the different opposites, and therefore the bumpers. I think it was a nice picture. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. For me, that image of bumpers got translated in my imagination to that the vision that the masters perceived 100 years ago, the conclave of 1925. They created us, for us, that's kind of this corridor of evolutionary trajectory for the world group. And so we move in within this alley of the vision, where all the potencies of the world group are waiting for us. And another interesting thought came when I think about this bowling alley. The only wrong thing that we can do with this alley is be still and do nothing. No matter what we do, what mistakes we do, it will still learn and it will direct us along this alley of this vision of this great thought forms that have been expressed 100 years ago. And now that we're preparing for the year 2025, when the hierarchy will be meditating again for the next 100 years, they will perceive the vision for the next stretch of the evolutionary trajectory. And so what we need to be is that, yeah, as in that quote that Judy shared, this homeless wanderers, just be open and be expectant to new recognitions. And as Michael Robbins used to say, there are still many things that we're not done what we're supposed to do. So we still have quite a number of potencies to manifest. And yet the plan will be downloaded, and probably there will be some modifications and some more potencies that we will start recognizing, that will start unfolding through us as well.
Won't it be a wonderful thing to see as much as we can as it unfolds? I know I've read there's a flowering expected around the middle of the century, around 2050. And it's such a joy to even imagine what that might be like. I know the first step, as it was said, would have to do with lifestyles, how people are living. It's just, we're given permission now to use our imagination to bring in even newer ideas and visions. Thanks.
Just one thing to share about the astrology. This was a discussion that took place yesterday in the esoteric astrology class that Francis Donald holds. And when we're looking at the stellium, realize that we are really in the karmic degree of Pisces right now. And as Neptune moves and as those planets in the stellium move together, it will be Neptune conjuncting Saturn at 0 degrees Aries in June, which is the Gemini full moon and the festival of humanity in the Christ. At 0 degrees Aries, it will be Neptune and Saturn conjunct. I mean, when you think of the energy that we are standing in right now and being impressed with and given to utilize, it's quite incredible. And so I think we just need to stand together, hold the course, and really keep our eyes and ears open for those impressions and those energies that come to us. Thank you.
You say Neptune Neptune and Saturn. But Saturn is in Pisces now, isn't it?
They are. And in June, Neptune will move from 28 degrees Pisces to 0 Aries, and Saturn will also move. I think Saturn now is 20 degrees Pisces. It will move to 0 Aries. So they will be at that very beginning sign, 0 Aries, conjuncting each other, and it will be in June, which is the third festival of the 3.
Thank you. It must be very important because Saturn is the old stuff and Neptune is the high vision, idealism of in areas with something new. So a very important time, I guess.
I read somewhere also, maybe someone who's more of an astrologer would know more about this, but I read also that 1 degree Aries is the most creative degree in the whole circle. Well, that's it.
Yes, so just in more details, Neptune moves to Aries on March 30th. And Saturn now is in 24 degrees of Pisces, and it's going to move in Aries on May 30th. 30th? May 30th. So they will be together in the 0 degrees, but in June, that's for sure, because Neptune will stay there for much longer than Saturn. But Neptune itself is moving on March 30th, and I was listening to British astrologer Pam Gregory, and she said that she was looking back in time when this was happening, and they meet together every 36 years. But in the first degree of Aries, it hasn't happened, as as for her research, for 12,000 years. And I had to listen again because I thought that I wasn't attentive, I thought she said 1,200, but she said 12,000. And to me, it was this importance of the completely era. It's because it's like probably half of the big cycle, 25,000 year cycle. So this is the new beginning of a magnitude that it's hard to comprehend, because they're just really start anew. This power that can make all things new, that's going to be present, and it's going to be present much longer, because again, the moment is immediate, but the manifestation in the matter is the long term. Yet we can meditate on that, and I think I was even suggesting that it's I think it's really, really powerful point. And given the fact that it is actually happening with the end of the era of a forerunner, and Neptune is considered to be related to Christ, it's cosmic Christ. It is the step forward again, of the magnitude that is hard to imagine. And although many things might stay for a while same, but certain things will never be the same. And this non-sameness will roll like a, like an avalanche, I think. So we better be prepared. Thank you. Over.
Yeah, sorry I've not contributed, but I'm feeling a bit dull lately and not coming up with anything very interesting, really. But I have thought that as a group, what we need to do, relating to what you were just saying, Katya, really, is to see ourselves at that middle point where we can combine the below with the above and with the horizontal too. But we must always be prepared to watch what's going on and be alert to changes that we notice and pick up, and be prepared to change course whenever necessary.
Are there any further comments?
This is Kathy, and what I have to comment is I'm so deeply and profoundly affected and supported by everything that's been shared, and I thank you. At the very beginning, when it was being stated about being homeless wanderers, I heard and felt being formless wanderers. And so that was the yin of it for me, that I would be willing to be in formless wondering while holding my attention to all of this that's going on. Thank you.
I think this homeless wandering, isn't that what you also call a comet? A comet like this one that is not going to hit the Earth, but perhaps the Moon. I think I've read in the blue books that they are called homeless wanderers or something like that too.
I just wanted to thank everybody for all of the contributions. I feel like I came a little bit unprepared for this. I just signed on and didn't know what to expect. I hadn't really prepared and read the questions in advance, but I just feel a huge sense of gratitude for everybody's thoughts on such important time that we're living in. And you know, for me, what I need to do is try to focus on joy in my life and try to look for ways where I can just sort of spread the love to somebody else. Yeah, that's basically all I can contribute.
Jerry, thank you for joining today. And yes, you're absolutely right. That's the most important thing for us, is to be who we are and be radiant and change the world in our immediate environment through our love. That's what we actually can do. And we are now about to enter into the next phase of our meeting today, is meditation. And this meditation is based on the premises that energy follows thoughts. And so we focus our group thought, directing all these great ideas that we shared here and that's been shared before the previous meetings, towards humanity, knowing that energy follows thought. And so I invite us to take a couple minutes to go inwards and think about the most resonant ideas that have been shared in our circle so far, and that we could offer those ideas as seeds that we will put into our group chalice, into our group center, to be magnetized and radiated towards humanity through our meditation. And Lynn, whenever you're ready, please take us into meditation.
Thank you, Alexander. Let us move into silence and become aware of the stillness within. Align with your heart, your ajna and soul. And from your soul, link with the group heart, the group mind, and the group soul. The heightened vibration and love that we hold within our group now draws the presence of higher vibrational beings who are here to guide and assist the energy and thought forms we will be magnetizing. Let us now connect with the hierarchy through our group Antakarana as we link the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning, and the subtle world of glamour. Visualize before us the glowing beauty of our chalice, which our work together feeds and fills. This golden chalice is made of numerous threads of golden light, which have been energized through our group contemplation, impressions, thoughts, and our heartfelt unity. We are currently under the influence of Pisces in a flux of continuous glowing change, morphing from the inflow and outflow of its energy. By means of Pisces ruling planets, Pluto and Jupiter, bringing in the energies of Ray 1, will, and Ray 2, love, and also through Venus exalted in Pisces, bringing the fusion of love and mind, the final goal is reached when we transition from becoming to being, from server to savior. Let us experience the qualities of Pisces of profound love, spiritual will, and sacrifice to the divine plan with urgency, but with complete confidence in the outcome as the world healing meditation is sounded. In the beginning, God. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Now is the time of the new beginning. I am a co-creator with God, and it is a new heaven that comes as the goodwill of God is expressed on earth through me. It is the kingdom of light, love, peace, and understanding, and I am doing my part to reveal its reality. I begin with me. I am a living soul, and the Spirit of God dwells in me as me. I and the Father are one, and all that the Father has is mine. In truth, I am the Christ of God. What is true of me is true of everyone, for God is all, and all is God. I see only the Spirit of God in every soul, and to every man, woman, and child on earth I say, I love you, for you are me. You are my holy self. I now open my heart and let the pure essence of unconditional love pour out. I see it as a golden light radiating from the center of my being, and I feel its divine vibration in and through me, above and below me. I am one with the light. I am filled with the light. I am illumined by the light. I am the light of the world. With purpose of mind, I send forth the light. I let the radiance go before me to join the other lights. I know this is happening all over the world at this moment. I see the merging lights. There is now one light. We are the light of the world. The one light of love, peace, and understanding is moving. It flows across the face of the earth, touching and illuminating every soul in the shadow of the illusion. And where there was darkness, there is now the light of reality. And the radiance grows, permeating, saturating every form of light. There is only the vibration of one perfect life now. All the kingdoms of the earth respond, and the planet is alive with light and love. There is total oneness, and in this oneness we speak the word. Let the sense of separation be dissolved. Let mankind be returned to Godkind. Let peace come forth in every mind. Let love flow forth from every heart. Let forgiveness reign in every soul. Let understanding be the common bond. And now from the light of the world, the one presence and power of the universe responds. The activity of God is healing and harmonizing planet Earth. Omnipotence is made manifest. I am seeing the salvation of the planet before my very eyes, as all false beliefs and error patterns are dissolved. The sense of separation is no more. the healing has taken place, and the world is restored to sanity. This is the beginning of peace on earth and goodwill toward all. As love flows forth from every heart, forgiveness reigns in every soul, and all hearts and minds are in perfect understanding. It is done, and it is so. Now is the time to formulate our seed thoughts.
To be open to the bumpers in our lives and to the inspiration and intuition which guides us on the way to the soul.
We wander in the clear light of reason, which illuminates the way of compassion.
We who embrace the light hold the magnetic center, so right relationships ensue.
We will experience the world in these changes together, supporting one another.
As one world-serving group, we see meaning behind chaos and utilize the cycles to bring forth the plan of a new unity.
Let's be malleable, able to be changed, but never change our love for humanity and our planet.
Beauty. The beautiful.
Let each awakened soul stand in full strength, radiating love and light, and thus making the dawn, the spring of humanity closer. And let we know each other, standing within the wider group.
Is there anyone else who would like to contribute a seed thought? Please do so now.
Development of the individual consciousness. Man becomes a world server, transmuting desire into sacrifice, the individual will into the divine will. Humanity becomes the world's savior.
But group soul and group will move us from material bonds to spiritual connection, and one step forward into a point of creation.
The formless wondering combined with the homeless wandering, held in readiness to serve and devotion to the plan.
Thank you, everyone. We focus on the purpose of our work today and the seeds collected, allowing them to vibrate and resonate within the embracing light of our group vessel. We magnetize it now with the light of Pisces as we invoke the will to good to potentiate our group intention. We lift our group chalice, offering it to the hierarchy as our group service on behalf of the one. Let us now, as we identify with the soul in all, and apply our efforts to be in accordance with divine will. We now send forth the results of our efforts. We send forth the results of our efforts, thoughts, love, and the energy of our group work to help our work, our earth, in all its diversity and ultimate unity through its transformational journey into the sacred. We do this through focused direction of energy from our group ajna, sending the light out to higher beings, to other spiritual groups, to the soul of humanity, and all sentient beings as we assist the forces of light. And in conclusion, we seal and complete our work together by sounding the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May Christ descend on earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills. The purpose the masters know and serve. From the center which we call humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. So mote it be, and help us each to do our part. Om. Om.